Assalamualaikum students. Today we will discuss the general characteristics of bryophytes taking Funaria plant as example. First of all, we know that the kingdom Plantae is divided into two main groups on the basis of presence or absence of the vascular tissues. The first group is bryophyte and the second group is tracheophyte. Tracheophyte are the vascular plants, whereas the bryophytes are the non-vascular plants. They may be defined as the multicellular eukaryotic chlorophyllous plants, which are non-vascular, having cell wall made up of cellulose. The term non-vascular means those plants that lacks the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. So now students, the question arises that how these plants conduct the water, the dissolved minerals and the nutrients. The body of bryophyte is very soft and made up of the parenchymatous tissues. These plants perform the function of transportation by the help of diffusion and osmosis. They are very small in size and may range from 5 cm to 20 cm in height with few inches in width. They are found in moist and damp shady places. It means they are found in those areas where the intensity of light is very low, which are cool temperature wise, as well as having a high humidity rate. You can find bryophytes in our country in the northern areas where the temperature is sufficiently low, very cool, and the moist environment. The study of bryophytes is called bryology. The term bryophyte means bryon, that means a moss, phyton means a plant. Generally, moss is those plants which are having a thallus-like structure and usually small in size. Morphologically, bryophyte have thalloid bodies. The term thalloid means those plants which cannot be differentiated into true root, stems, and leaves. Most of the plants included in this group have thallus-like structure. However, some advanced plants like Funaria have pseudostem, pseudoleaves, some branches, and the rhizoid. The term pseudostem and pseudoleaves means having a stem-like structure but not true stem or not true leaves. The term rhizoid represents uni to multicellular hair-like outgrowths, actually the cellular outgrowths that perform the functions similar to the roots. These rhizoids help the bryophytic plant to anchor into the soil and absorb water along with dissolved minerals for the thallus. As you see, the bryophytic structure is not like those of the higher plants. They do not contain seeds, flowers, and fruits. They have the simplest plant structure. Bryophytes are generally called as amphibians of the kingdom Plantae. Why? Because they need water for the sexual reproduction. Plants have two distinct phases in their life cycle. The first is gametophyte, during which the gametes are produced, and the other is a sporophyte, during which the spores are produced. These two phases give rise to each other in alternate manner. Such process is called alternation of generation. If these two phases, that is the gametophyte and sporophyte, are morphologically as well as cytologically similar in nature, such alternation of generation is called isomorphic alternation of generation. And if gametophytic phase and the sporophytic phase are morphologically as well as cytologically different from each other, such alternation of generation is called heteromorphic alternation of generation. Hetero represent different, morphic represent morphological or the external structure. In the bryophytes, the gametophyte and sporophytic phases are morphologically, it means structurally, as well as cytologically, it means the cellular structure are different. Morphologically, gametophyte consists of pseudostem, pseudoleaves, and the rhizoids, whereas the sporophyte structure consists of foot, seta, and capsule. Cytologically, the gametophytic phase is haploid in nature, whereas the sporophytic phase is diploid in nature. We will discuss it brief in the life cycle of Funaria. Further, the gametophytic generation is dominant in bryophytes. The dominant generation means the generation that is long-lived, that is visible, and also independent from the sporophyte. Bryophytes, on the basis of the structure of thallus and the structure of their capsules, they are divided into three groups. The first group is Hepatica, commonly called as liverworts. The group include the plants having thallus that resembles the lobes of liver. The plant included in this group is Marchantia. The second group is Muscae, commonly called as mosses. The plants included in this group is the Funaria. The third group is Anthocerota, commonly called as hornwoods. The plant included in these groups are having the capsules having horn-like structure. Example include Anthocerose. Now let's come to the life cycle of the bryophytic plant. We will discuss Funaria plant as the example. As we know that the gametophytic generation is dominant in the bryophyte, so the gametophytic phase of Funaria plant consists of pseudostem, branches, and the pseudo leaves. Funaria has distinct male and female shoots on the basis of the presence of male reproductive organs and the female reproductive organs. The male shoot contain male reproductive organ antheridia, singular antheridium, at the apex of the male shoot, whereas the female reproductive part called archegonia, singular archegonium, is present at the apex or tip of the female shoot in between the cluster of pseudo leaves. During sexual reproduction, the male reproductive organ antheridia produces male gametes. These male gametes are small in size, they are haploid in nature, they have flagella for the swimming. These motile gametes swim across to the female reproductive organ archegonia with the help of water. By reaching there, fuses with the female gamete, the egg cell enclosed within the archegonium. Both gametes fertilize to form a diploid zygote. This formation of zygote marks the start of sporophytic phase. This zygote divides mitotically to produce a multicellular structure called sporophyte. This sporophyte is completely dependent on the gametophytic plant body for its support and nutrition. The structure of sporophyte consists of foot, the base part, seta, the elevated stalk-like part, and the bulb-like structure called capsule. Here we can clearly see that both the phases, sporophyte and gametophyte, are morphologically as well as cytologically different. The gametophytic phase is haploid, whereas the sporophytic phase is diploid in nature. Further, the gametophytic phase consists of pseudostem, pseudoleaves, and the rhizoids, whereas the sporophytic phase consists of the structures foot, seta, and the capsule. Now inside the capsule, the process of meiosis takes place and it produces a large number of spores. These spores are produced as a result of meiosis, so they are haploid in nature. At the time of libration, the capsule dehydrates and bursts to liberate a large number of spores. These unicellular spores fall onto the suitable places and upon germination give rise to the gametophytic phase of Funaria, and here the cycle starts again.